And boom, A up troops, A Littleton here again with another video. And we're here in Siege X. Ignore the fact that it's got the test server watermark up there. Don't let that ruin the immersion of me being behind the clubhouse bar. However, first time we've done this in Siege X, which is pretty cool. This video, we're going to go all about the changes to Siege X, which you might not know about. These are map changes, operator changes, even gadget changes. Some things you may know, some things you may not. There's a number of them in here that I certainly didn't know until I started watching videos and seeing clips on Twitter and TikTok. So I've collated it all into one video. Hopefully you get something from it. I'm looking forward to Siege X, man. It's so good. It's enough waffling. Let's just get stuck into it. So the first changes we'll look at is Chalet, and I think we'll start over here. This is by far the biggest change in any of the maps, I believe, because it will have such an impact on the game. We've got this metal plate in behind the bin now. I will throw a screenshot of what it looks like at the moment from the live server. Ping over the top of it. So basically just the same, but no metal plate. Why this is important? You used to be able to wallbang people behind this bin that we're planting here. So this is technically, well, I say technically, it's usually the default plan that people try and go for here behind the bin. But you could stop people planting by shooting through the bin. Now, if I move over here and we miss this plate completely and aim for this wall through the bin, you can see we've got bullet holes on the wall. So the bins are wall bangable. Wall bangable, you can shoot through the bins. Now, you can't because there's metal plate in behind. Now, the issue I have with this, I don't really have an issue with it, but this is a potential issue for defenders, right? So this is your usual setup. This would normally be reinforced, usually. And you can play in connector, but obviously if this hatch gets open, which happens quite a lot, you're in a bit of trouble here, because this really now is the only place you can stop this plant from going down. Because if you swing from here, you can't see the person behind that plate. If you swing from blue, you definitely can't see the person behind the plate. You can't get a C4 from here. You can get a C4 from here just about. But it's going to be, I think now this site is going to be more about holding on to this room here in what's called connector. Because, yeah, trying to stop that behind that metal plate is going to be really tough. The thing I think you probably need to do is hold higher up the map. So, oh, hang on a minute, let's shoot the f***ing jukebox, forgot about that. So you want to be higher up the map, in my opinion. You probably want to have a player playing up here to try and stop this hatch getting opened. And then ideally have someone who can drop down the hatch late on if need be, from a defending perspective, and stop that plant. I think that's a really big change, and I think that's going to impact this side quite a lot. The other changes here in connector, there used to be like a sort of box here that you could drop onto from the hatch, and you could sort of glitch onto it a little bit by vaulting up onto it and sort of proning a little bit. It was a bit weird. That's now got a lot more space in here for activities. Move that out of the way. Loads more room to move around, lots more maneuverability. Peeking over here is a bit easier now, it's a bit cleaner, it's just one level across. I'll whack a screenshot of what connector looks like right now. Ping! You can see that there is the difference. So yeah, just a lot cleaner and a lot easier to move around. Then, something I didn't notice at first, and I got this from somebody else's video if I'm honest with you. These bars have been put in front of the barrels. You used to be able to like punch those out and then prone down and hide in amongst the barrels. But everywhere those barrels are underneath now are behind bars. So everywhere you can see all the way along there are now behind bars. Another big change on Chalet is the roof space here. Now this used to have, I mean, I'll whack a quick screenshot in from roughly where I am on the live server. Now you can see it used to have like, these gaps weren't here. It was sort of insulation or lagging or something that was in between. Well, they're gone. So this now opens the door for like Fenrir mines here, for example, just hidden up there. Vault cams are going to be a lot easier to hide, but this is the same all the way across this ground floor, this basement floor, sorry, except for where it's destructible ceiling, obviously. But all the way along here, you can see there's like ridges in the ceiling, all through sight here, and all the way along through blue as well. I don't know why this is. The only thing I can suspect is what I saw on a Dangleberry's video, where he said that, you know, I don't know if anyone knows, there used to be an area in the map here where you could throw Ella mines and Fenrir FNATs and Prox mines and things like that couldn't be seen. So I don't know if it was causing some kind of problem with that texture in the ceiling. I don't know, but now it's complete. I mean, look at this. There's going to be so many opportunities for vault cams here now. Like a vault cam just up there would go extremely well. Maybe a bit further away so it doesn't get destroyed by the breach. Maybe just like up in this corner here, and you're going to be able to see the whole side. Although, bear in mind, as I always say, I'm going off tangent a little bit with Valk here. Bear in mind with Valk cams, in my opinion, you want them further away from the site to see where enemies get to the site. But if you want a Valk cam to see enemies inside, it's kind of already too late because they're already inside. So yeah, they're the changes that I've found on Chalet. I'm playing secure area, so the bomb doesn't keep beeping. Don't worry about that. But yeah, it looks bloody good. I'll say that. Chalet is one of the best looking Siege X updates. You can just tell. I don't know if you know, but the lights now emit light, if that makes sense. So before, the light used to look like this, but the room was artificially lit. Now this light will actually light up this room. So if we were to somehow to destroy this light or delete that light and just delete these lights in the fridges, this room would be darker because these lights are now, is it dynamic lighting you call it or something like that? Those lights are actually lighting up the room. Looks really, really good. Onto cafe then, and we'll start on the roof. The hatches are still in the same place, however the platform that goes around them has changed. You did used to have steps up here, but the steps used to start here and would go down, like I would be going down the steps now. For some reason those steps are now here. I don't really know why. I've heard some theories that it helps with the continuous rappel. Maybe that's the case, I don't know, because this like barrier used to be here. Now it's just on its side, like here. I don't know if that's where it's going to stay. Just doesn't quite look right there, but yeah, you can just fall off here now. I don't really want to, but yeah, I mean, it's quite high up actually. But yeah, this is changed now. It doesn't really affect anything to do with the hatches. The steps now just come down this way, and they used to go down that way. Now, inside the map, there is an absolutely huge change in piano. First of all, we'll shoot the speakers. This clock. I nearly said these clock then. I had to correct myself. This clock used to be at 45 degrees facing out. And I know it well because it does my head in. Because that sound of the ticking noise of the clock can only be gotten rid of by shooting these two pendulums. And then it stops. Now, why has it changed from being 45 degrees? I don't know. I don't know. I've heard Kudos say that it could be because there was you could sneak vault cams in it at a certain angle, but you can still put like a vault cam in like there, and it would still be pretty well hidden from the lamp from anyone that's over here. It would still be pretty well hidden. So I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, they're no longer 45 degrees. The other big change for Cafe is a fairly significant change. Is down here in Freezer. There used to be a unit here. I will throw a screenshot on the screen right now. Whack. Of what it used to look like. And yeah, there used to be a unit there. You could jump up on here, you could sprint across, and you could jump on top of the unit, and then you could open up an area above here, and you could C4 out over towards VIP. This angle, this door here. You could also stand on the unit and hold white stairs from the top of this. Oh, you still can actually hold white stairs if you just stand on this. I've never seen that angle before. Yeah, you can still hold white stairs from here. I didn't realise you could actually see over it by just standing on this. I thought you had to be on this unit. But yeah, that's moved. So another pretty big change. I think Cafe has probably had one of the biggest aesthetic changes with all the different textures. I mean, things are like pretty much the same, but you can see the different textures on the wall there. Like that marble effect, and in here as well, the marble effect on the wall just looks so much more detailed. Have the cakes changed? I feel like there's more cakes there than normal. Maybe I'm just hungry. But yeah, I feel like Cafe's had one of the best aesthetic changes, but it looks good, man. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. That's the changes on Cafe. Then we come on to Border. The change here is the drone hole outside bathroom. You used to get quite an easy, well not an easy, but quite a large angle into bathroom from here. Whereas now there is a tiny pixel where you can get through. I think I actually saw Kudos shoot a drone from here through this tiny pixel. You can just see the daylight there. So if we see, I think we should be able to see the drone. Is that it there? Yeah, there you go. That was the hit marker. So you can still get a pixel through the drone hole. Realistically, you're not going to get a kill through there anymore. I wouldn't have thought. You can't see through the other side. You just end up seeing the side of the drone hole. But this is actually a good change. I don't ever think this should have been in the game. I don't know how I feel about things like this. Like, it's kind of like a knowledge thing. Like, should you get punished by standing in front of a drone hole? Maybe. But I don't think this was ever supposed to be a place to get a kill from. People used to play Glaz and just hold people's ankles there. But the main change on Border is over here in Armory. Not Armory, sorry, Archives. And it's here on the vault up that we all know and love over onto the top of this cabinet here. It used to be a monitor that was there that got removed a couple of seasons ago, and then it got replaced with another box. And it was still a bit like you sort of had to run and wiggle as you ran up. Now it's just been replaced by a larger box that you can vault onto, and then you can vault onto this bootcase. Vaulting onto this bootcase isn't the easiest thing. You've got to look on the left-hand side of the bootcase. You can see the vault prompt sort of coming and going. and then you get up there. And this is, I mean, it's a common sort of parkour spot that everyone knows, and it's obviously been sort of accepted into the game by Ubi because now it's a purposeful thing to get up there. It's not like you have to sprint at a certain angle and you'll pop up. It's there for a reason. This provides a lot nicer cover onto the window if you were defending here, obviously. The only thing I've got, the only concern I've got is you used to be able to get an angle from Fountain all the way back here. And I just wonder whether you'll still be able to get that angle. So I'll tell you what we'll do is I'll put, what shall I do? I'll put a load of bullet holes. I'm not going to be able to see them from over there. I might be able to, roughly where my head would be. And let's see if you can still see that from out here. I don't think I'm going to be able to see them with this ACOG. I think that angle might be gone. In fact, let's just ping where I could see that. So I could see, the furthest down I can see is there. And hopefully those bullet holes are still there, and see if we can compare where that is. The bullet holes are further down. I don't think that angle exists anymore. But maybe my head's a little bit higher than that. Maybe it's there. It'd be interesting to see if that angle still exists. In fact, let's put a bullet hole onto the aircon unit and go and see where that is now. Is that head height? Yeah, that's head height. I think you should still be able to hit that. Just about, though, but only just. It used to be a really nice angle here. If you know Hard Baguette used to get a kill from this angle every game on Border. He loves it, but I think that angle has now been reduced because of the size of this box here. But yeah, a good change, I think, because it's now a deliberate vault to get up onto the top. The other thing I changed is that I noticed was changed, and this is also comes from Kudo, so shout out to him for nicking all his ideas. Is you used to be able to break individual bits of this sort of trellising, and you could throw a drone up. Well, in fact, I'll show you exactly what I used to do. I used to wait. Where's my? Why do I only have one? Do you only get one drone in secure area? I'm playing secure area because I don't want to hear the bomb beeping constantly, but you must only get one drone in secure area. I've not got one in my pockets, have I? No, must only get one drone. Oh no, I destroyed it, didn't I, when I shot it through the bathroom drone? Oh, idiot. This is what I used to do. I used to jump up here, and then I jump up here, and then up one more. And then I would come over here, and I would jump onto this, and it would just destroy a small section of that trellis, and I would leave the drone here. As you can see now, the whole trellis gets destroyed when you shoot one part of it. So you can see it all gets destroyed now. Now, this is important for Valkyrie and for attackers. Valk used to be able to hide cameras up there really nicely, hidden amongst the trellis, and I used to do it over on this one all the time. But Valk cams are going to be a lot easier to see now that you can't keep that trellis in place. The same with attacker drones. Attacker drones are going to be able to be seen a bit easier because you'll notice that the trellis is gone. If you notice that all that's disappeared, there'll be a little drone down in the corner there, and the same for a Valk cam. But yeah, I don't think it's a good change. It's a bit more, what's the right phrase? Uniform, I think. A bit more uniform for what what's the right? I can't think what the right phrase is. A bit more. It's going to be the same every time. That's what I'm trying to say. Uniform's probably the right word, but maybe not in that context. But yeah, it's going to be the same every time. If you jump a drone up there, the trellis is gone. Because sometimes you used to like be able to just destroy a teeny bit of the trellis. Sometimes you'd be able to destroy more of it if you wanted to. But now you hit it once and it's gone regardless. That was really difficult to get out, wasn't it? Sorry. So over to Canal now, and this one is actually a massive change, really. When you're pushing from Printer and along Skybridge on Canal, this used to be a really nice head glitch angle. It is now no longer a head glitch angle. You can see there that it comes up to sort of chest height. If I go and put my bulletproof camera, am I going to be able to put it on there? Hang on a minute, bear with me. I should have just gone into match replay and done this, but I'm going to try and do this instead. Put that there. Attackers used to be able to like get a nice head glitch there. We jump on the bulletproof and try and find where we are. You can see there, almost chest height, or slightly lower than chest height actually. You can't vault it. I didn't think about trying that before actually, but no, you can't vault it. But that is a lot lower now. You can still peek around it obviously, but that head glitch that used to be there is no longer such a head glitch anymore. And it is sort of chest height now. It's one I haven't seen many people mention. So this one is a change with the Claymore lasers, and I have to admit, I didn't notice this at first, but I actually got this off Kudos' video. You can see how much clearer those Claymore lasers are. Let's just place those on a door. Let's just use this door here and pretend. I don't know why I've run all the way around there. Put this here. This is us. We are attackers. We're going to put that Claymore there. Let's just click that one up. And we are now defenders. As you get close, you can see the lasers so much better. I got nervous peeking that, man. So much better than you used to. Remember, these are blue at the moment. If we were an enemy, in fact, I can probably change that in the options right now. Let's make us move them orange, and we'll say friendly is red. Apply, and that will then turn. Oh, the claimers are red and blue. Let's take it up and put it back down. There you go, red lasers. Much, much easier to see than they used to be. I mean, the flooring kind of blends in a little bit there, but let's put them on here instead. You can see how much... So much easier. There's still a bit of a glitch there. Those are kind of... Is it because we are sort of... They're white for us, but also they're red for the team. It's kind of a... Those ones aren't bugged, but these ones are bugged. That's interesting. I didn't have this problem when they were just blue. Okay, so two lasers are red, one's kind of white and red. But anyway, you get the... There's obviously some kind of bug there, but you get the gist. If you're a defender now, seeing those lasers is so much easier than it used to be. They used to be sort of like 50% opacity, didn't they? But they're like pretty clear. I mean, this is terrifying, staring a Claymore down like this. But yeah, a lot easier to see on the laser front there. So one of the main things that's made it into the news, or more people have been speaking about it, is the Jackal Nerf. So I'm just going to show you that works quickly. So we're going to whack the goggles on. Bandit's going to run around. You can see that the footprints are on the floor. We're going to scan the footprints. And we get one ping to show where Bandit is. Identification, Bandit on the right. And it's gone. And that's it. There's no... It doesn't matter now. You can see the footprints are different colors. So if I just run around a second... I don't know why I ran all that way. Let me just run around here a second. Move around. You can see that over time the footprints will change color like they used to. So the red footprints are the most recent, and then the ones over here should start to go yellow in a second, although I'm not entirely sure of the timing. There we go, the yellow there, and then after yellow they'll turn green. You will still get the same information from each footprint, so this one should turn green any second now. So they were red, then went yellow, and come on. There we go, now it's gone green. So the red are the most recent. However, it doesn't matter which one you scan, you'll still get the same ping to say that that player is there. You can tell you what player it is. You can see it's Bandit. One ping, and then it's gone. Now, bear in mind, you get 5 pings now. That's more than you used to get. And the age of the footprints don't matter. So if I just grab, we'll identify Bandit and then run away. And you can see the ping is stationary as well. So the ping isn't live for the time that ping won't follow the Bandit. It's not like a Grim, where it'll follow the player around. It's a stationary ping to say he's in this position. There he is, and if he moves, that ping will stay exactly there. Now, bear in mind, there's no cooldown on the footprints either, so you can do one, you can do another, and then you can sort of follow the footprints and get constant pings using 5. I think there should be a cooldown on it, to be honest. I don't think you should be able to do it straight away. But yeah, cool. A good change, I feel, especially if you... I hate playing against Jackal. I just don't feel like it takes much at all to be able to just track people down. A really good change. So yeah, it doesn't matter what age the footprint is. It used to be that if you ping the newer footprints, you got a... Is it a ping every 4 seconds, I think, showing where they are? Which is a long time to be tracked. But why do we play Jackal over Deimos? I think Jackal's probably better at roam clearing, because with Deimos you've got to identify them, I guess. With Jackal you can just go into the map and start scanning. So yeah, I still think Jackal has a place, but a much better change now. And I think it's fairer for everybody, and I don't think Jackal players can be overly fussed about it. Thank you for being our guinea pig here, Bandit. The next fairly significant change in operators is Ella, and I don't think this was mentioned at the reveal. So Ella's Grism mine used to have... Let me throw one on the floor. Used to have a radius of 7 meters, which is pretty far, right? You can see we're stood 5 meters away from this Grismot. However, it's now 4 meters. So let's ping it again. We go probably another ½ meter forward and it's going to go off on us. There we go. Effect's still pretty much the same, even in Siege X. But yeah, it used to be a lot further than it is now. Chuck another one down. Move forward 5 meters. It used to be 7 meters, which is actually really far in it. But anyway, go back in with them. As soon as it goes to 4, pop. There we go. It was actually slightly less than 4 there, but I don't think the ping is entirely accurate, and it's the radius of it is 4 meters, so we were probably just outside it. But yeah, a change not really mentioned. I've seen some people mention it in other videos, but I thought I'd better include it just in case. Cheers, Allah. Oof. Another massive change that was popular, but and everyone's spoken about it, but I'm going to show you again. The difference in tinted, I don't know the right phrase, the tinted glass on Blackbeard's shield is now a lot darker than it used to be. It used to be pretty clear. You can see from Blackbeard's side it looks pretty clear. From this side you can see it's darker. The reason for this is so you can see when that shield's going down. Because it used to be so clear, it was difficult to tell at a distance whether that shield was up or down. It's imposing having that like pointed at you, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not mad keen on that. I've never really looked through the enemy scope before, but it's cool how you can see through that. I've never seen that before. Never noticed that before. Anyway, not what we're here to talk about. Whilst we're here talking about Blackbeard and the now tinted sort of visor or shield or whatever it is that he's looking through, tinted window, you may also notice that we've now got outlines around the enemy. Now, they're not very obvious. People have been saying, oh, it's too obvious, it's really easy to see. I don't feel like it is. You can see there's just a very small orange glow, outer glow, around the edge of the character model, and the shield don't really feel like it's very obvious at all. If we move that over to, say, blue, does it become more obvious? If I move that to enemy color, move us to orange, move enemy color to blue, I should now move that outline to blue, which it does. I think it's easier to see the orange. You can see just a very faint blue outline around the outside. I've seen people sort of losing their head about that on Twitter, and I don't really know why, because I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. Whether that's just me or not, I don't know. Much easier to see the red than it is to see the blue. I feel like it's, I mean, the further back you go, maybe the easier it kind of is to see the outer glow, but I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. But yeah, a lot easier to see if Blackbeard's shield is up or down these days with that change. Now, I've got to do this while holding the other mouse. Cheers, Blackbeard, thank you. Another big operator change was revealed during the Rio Reload event, where people saw that Jaeger's ADSs now catch Capitão's firebolts and smoke bolts, and also capture Gridlock's tracks now, and they never used to. It used to be only one eye that could counter Capitão. So, if I get the bow out, we're currently using fire. You can see the cartridge is orange, that means fire. That now catches the firebolts that swap over to smoke. Also captures the smoke bolt as well. This is a massive buff for Jaeger, who can now be used on rafters in Clubhouse again. The only thing I want to Jaeger, I want to be able to have barbed wire again. At the minute, you can only have a bulletproof cam or barbed wire. Sorry, bulletproof cam or observation blockers. Give me barbed wire back on Jaeger. Thank you, Capitão. Thunderbird also received a mini buff. These Kona stations used to heal defenders. They no longer... Sorry, I've just said that completely wrong, but I'm not editing that out. This is all in one take. Kona stations used to heal attackers. If the attackers were needing health and walked past a Kona station, they used to get healed. Well, we're going to shoot Ash in the toe. She's now in quite a lot of pain and is on 73 out of 100 health and doesn't get healed by the Kona station anymore. The difference is attackers can still get healed by these Kona stations, only if they get hacked by Brawler. Cheers, Ash. And finally, the last thing we'll mention is the operator card backgrounds, which have had an update, which look a lot better in my opinion. But you can see the previous ones were grey, blue, and red. And again, we've got grey, blue, and red, but in a different design. Sort of matches the barricade. It's a lot more in keeping with the new sort of a bit more gritty art style, I think I'd describe it as. But yeah, I think this is the test server, so whether they're definitely going to be obviously keeping these new X ones, whether these make it to the live server, I don't see why they wouldn't. They're already in the game, if you know what I mean. So I don't think they take them out. But yeah, these are the new ones. Grey, and obviously grey there. The blue replacing this blue one, and the red replacing this red one. I think they look a lot better, and they look a lot better behind the... if I go to the operators, you can see just a lot more in keeping with what the new sort of grittier Siege art style is going to look like. So yeah, it's not a massive change, but something that's worth noticing on the old card background front. It wouldn't be one of my videos if we didn't get Microsoft Paint out. I'm just going to do this to talk about the new ban system, which, by the way, is world class. Okay, so 3 bans when you start on attack or defense. Let's just say this is attacker and this is defender. So this is round 1, 2, and 3. So if you're on attack in round 1, 2, and 3, if you're on attack in... Hang on, let me get rid of that circle. 3, 1, 2, 3. It's better. If you're on attack... On the first round, you ban a defender, and the defenders simultaneously at the same time ban an attacker. Then you play round 1, and then round 2 comes round, you ban a defender, they ban an attacker, you ban a defender, they ban an attacker. By the end of round 3, which is when you would split roles, right? So you would go from defense to attack at the end of round 3, all the bans get wiped, forget all about that, and then you start this process again, but the other way around, obviously. So when you're on attack, you now ban defenders again. So... at any one point in the game, 3 defenders and 3 attackers are banned, but it's less at the start of the game. Now, why this is good is you can adapt to what the other team is doing. So if you're playing against a Fenrir or a Malusi who is absolutely battering you, and you go, at round 1, Malusi gets a 4K, she's put traps in unbelievable places, and you go, okay, we've got an issue here. Or another good one, end of round 1, you die to a Valk by C4 below, and then you realize that there's Valk cams in places you didn't even know existed. You then say, okay, there's this Valk on the other team is absolutely unbelievable. We're on attack. This round, we ban Valk. And that stops them playing Valk next round, obviously. So the new banning system is really good. What I like about it is how it resets again when you... Oh, I don't know what I've just done there. Resets again when you swap roles. So end of those first 3 rounds, you swap over. Attack and defense swap. And then if I get rid of this, you now become defenders. They now become attackers. And again, you got 1, 2, 3. So you would now, as a defender, you would now ban an attacker here. So you would now ban Dokkaebi. They would ban a defender, so they would ban Valk. And then you play round 1. And at the end of round 1, you go, hang on, they're on attack. They've got a Thermite that knows some sweet Thermite spots here. Let's ban Thermite this round. Then they can't play Thermite here or here. It's a great system. Honestly, it works really well. It makes the game a bit more fun for the ban phase. That sounds a bit daft, but it's true. And trust me, if you haven't played the new ban system yet, it's really, really good. So there we have it. There's a bunch of changes coming to Siege X on June the 10th. There's one thing that I didn't mention in there because I can't quite get the data right for it. Zafira is getting a slight nerf as well, and it's to do with the range of her concussion mines and the impact that it has on you, and also the range that they go off on. I tried to do some testing, but I couldn't quite get it right. I could get it right, obviously, but I couldn't quite get the numbers right. I couldn't figure out what the numbers should be, so I haven't put it in the video because I wasn't sure. I'm sure when the test server, when the season notes come out, the proper full patch notes come out when the season's released, it'll be in there, I'm hoping. So just bear in mind, she is getting a small radius nerf. It's in line pretty much, I think, with what happened with Ella, and I did put Ella in there because it was easier to test. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be in line with that. But anyway, loads of things to look forward to. That Claymore change is huge, man. I didn't realize that until I saw it in game. It's massive. And the chalet change on the basement site on the default plant spot with that metal plate, I honestly think that's going to be tough to stop as a defender now, unless you're playing smoke C4 or even C4ing from certain spots. I'm not going to go over it again. We talked about it for ages there, but you can see the issues you're going to have on defense. I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you as always for watching the video. Don't forget, if you want to get my charm, somehow I've got a charming game. I'm incredibly lucky. All you got to do is sub on Twitch once. It's on your account forever. The links are all below. There's other ways you can support the channel if you want to below, but I appreciate you just watching. Press that thumbs up button. That costs you nothing. That's a massive way of helping out. I'll see you on the next one. All the very best.